Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by John Cartwright to discuss the reveal of Meltan's evolution, Melmetal, in Pokemon Go and Let's Go. So, let's get started. Alright John, so we finally got the conclusion of the two professors meeting, and it basically gave the rest of the details about Meltan and what we can expect for it in both Go and Let's Go, and that basically means that we got an evolution for it, which we did get teased in the last time we got information about Meltan. And yeah, we have Melmetal. So before we get into anything else about obtaining it or anything like that, what's your gut reaction to it, this evolution?
So, I really like Melmetal. He kind of looks like Meltan's big brother, you know? He's just, there's some very clear remnants of Meltan's design in there. Like, he still has the same kind of screwy face. But at the same time, he's much, much larger, which I guess makes sense, because we are technically, like, merging together, like, tons and tons of Meltans to make this Pokemon. So, yeah, I like the concept. He stands out to me a lot, and especially his size as well, because Meltan's one of the smallest Pokemon, whereas Melmetal is just, he's so freaking tall. Yeah. There's some screenshots of him walking around in the overworld, and he just towers over absolutely everyone. And I'm just wondering, like, is this guy going to be clipping through, like, all these walls? Because he completely demolishes most of these environments. He's so big.
Yeah, I wonder about that. We do have an official height for him, which is 8 foot 2 inches tall and weighing 1,700 pounds. Nearly 1,800, but yeah, so he's a big boy. And that's a heck of a step up from Meltan, which was...
So Meltan was 17 pounds and 6 ounces, I think.
Yes. All right. He was 8 inches tall and 17 pounds and 6 ounces. Yeah, 17 pounds, 6 ounces. So, yeah, that's a lot of Meltans coming together.
One thing I quite like about Melmetal is, while most of him is bigger and very different to Meltan, his tail is still basically the same as Meltan's tail. This very short cord coming out at the end of his body. And there's a screenshot of him in battle a bit further on. That's just one part that maybe looks a little bit out of place on him, but it still just shows where he came from with Melmetal. So with Meltan.
Yeah, it really is just a bigger Meltan, and it kind of works. I don't know. I won't call it my favorite Pokemon design ever, but I kind of dig it. Like, I wasn't too far off from my idea that it kind of reminds me of one of the Reggies, because the body type definitely reminds me of that, but it has a bit of a gooey form. It's almost like, you know what, if Ash was here, he'd love this. It kind of reminds me of the Yellow Devil.
We can't escape these Mega Man references.
No, we really can, but... I don't know, I love the idea that this thing, like, it would hurt if this thing punched you, by the way.
It would hurt if he flicked you. I mean, have you seen how heavy he is?
Yeah, jeez. I'm actually kind of surprised that Melmetal isn't a steel fighting type. He is just pure steel.
I'm not entirely sure how I feel about his head kind of just clipping through the rest of his body. Because with Meltan, his head was quite distinguished, just sort of sitting upon his body. Whereas here, half of it just sort of melts into him. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm feeling that.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. It gives you the sense that, you know, there is so much liquid metal here that's sort of overtaking him, so it's sort of his head dipped in. It is weird to see his shoulders, for lack of a better term, be bigger than his head. It's a weird design, but I kind of dig it. And according to the description, it says, "This is the first time that Melmetal has been seen in 3,000 years. In ancient times, this Pokemon was worshipped for its power to create metal," which, yeah, I can see that being pretty useful back in the day, 3,000 years ago.
It's quite cool that Melmetal creates metal and Meltan absorbs metal.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's a nice yin-yang going on there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it fits in with the general aesthetic of Gen 1, but I like his new Pokemon. I kind of dig these guys.
Yeah, it's definitely not very Gen 1-y, but yeah, I'm absolutely with you, and it's great to have this kind of modern flavor dipped into Let's Go as well. Because I have always wondered how much substance the original 151 will have in that game, and Pokemon just kind of built itself upon adding new monsters, so... For me, Meltan and Melmetal are kind of the most exciting things going on for Let's Go at the moment.
And there's a lot of interesting things about him, because the Pokemon website does confirm that Meltan and Melmetal are mythical Pokemon, and it is the first mythical Pokemon with the ability to evolve. So we're breaking all kinds of boundaries here.
Yeah, Gen 7's broken so many boundaries. Like, we've had Pokemon mid-generation, legendaries can evolve. There's so much going on with Gen 7. So yeah, it's been a great generation, really. But yeah, I'm really feeling Melmetal, and it's just very cool to have this amalgamation of all these Meltans really coming together in this one giant design.
Yeah, and I like the official art of like Melmetal like striking a pose while all the Meltan dance around him. It's like, yay, Big Brother's helping us. There's also a great one in the back behind him that's like almost tossing his head off of his body.
That's a good point, actually. We've seen how expressive Meltan is, like with how much like his head can fall off, his pupil come out, but we've not really seen that with Melmetal yet. I guess that's because we haven't really seen him in motion properly. But I do wonder if he's going to be as expressive as Meltan.
Yeah, I see him being a more serious Pokemon. But he does look great in-game. I like the shininess to him.
Yeah, right. We see him in both Go and Let's Go. And Let's Go definitely has a nice brighter sheen to him. And I think this really showcases the graphical difference between the two games. Because it is the same model, but the shading is just totally different in Let's Go.
Absolutely. But along with all that, he actually has a brand new move called the Double Iron Bash. According to the website, it says, Melmetal uses the hex nut in its chest like an axle to spin its powerful arms around, dealing a double strike to the opponent. The weight of the heavy hex nuts on its arms combined with this spinning motion give this move extraordinary power. After it hits, it may even make the target flinch. So that seems like a pretty potent move.
Yeah, and also, Steel wasn't really a type in Gen 1, so it's great to have more Steel types in here. But one thing that really occurs to me with this move, though, is it's very animated, and a lot of the move in Let's Go aren't really as distinguished as this. So we have actual animations going on with Melmetal when he does this move, like his arms spin around. So maybe it'll stand out more than other moves will. I'm not sure if that'll be jarring or not. But I do like how it looks, and yeah, it's always great to have more Steel moves in this game.
Yeah, I think all we really have at the moment is Magnemite. So yeah,
Right.
And the funny thing is we'll have Fairy types thanks to like Jigglypuff and Clefairy. We'll have Steel types thanks to Meltan and Magnemite. Still no Dark types though.
Good point. Yeah. I do wonder if Eevee can learn any dark moves, because we've seen that he has a few of his evolution, well, a few moves that represent his evolutions in a way. So I guess it's possible that Eevee could have that that kind of move to like represent Umbreon or something, but yeah, it's hard to say at this point.
That would be interesting. Like we've only seen Fire, Thunder, and Water, which matches the 3 evolutions in this. But I do want. It is a good point. I guess they could have the moves from the other Eevee evolutions from later gens, but that would strike me as a little odd, just because we are so focused on Gen 1 itself, so maybe it'll get those new moves in a later gen if they continue this or something like that. Or if they're just going all out, they could just do it all in one. So I don't know. I could honestly see it either way, because I doubt Eevee would be like. I don't think they're going to do Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Gen 2 for a title or anything like that. We'll probably get a new focus Pokemon, so this would be the only time to give Eevee those moves.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. And I do hope that happens too, because as you say, the other moves made after Gen 1 are in this game. There are Fairy types, there are Steel types, so it kind of makes sense to add in some more Dark moves in there. So hopefully Eevee gets a chance with that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll always have Bite, but yeah. As far as catching Melmetal, there's no way to do it in Let's Go. In fact, there's no way to evolve Meltan within Let's Go. The only way to evolve Meltan into Melmetal is through Pokemon Go. And he's a pricey one. 400 candies according to one of the pictures, and that gives me flashbacks to Magikarp. Like, we got a couple Pokemon that require a lot of candies, and that's Magikarp, Swablu, and Wailmer. I have Gyarados. I've done it successfully for Magikarp. Still only about halfway to Swablu and Wailmer, so it takes quite a while.
Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Go on and off since launch, and my Magikarp has, I think, 362 candy or something like that. So even after playing for over maybe 2 years now, I still haven't evolved that Magikarp. So 400 candy is a lot.
Do not do it until you get to the special research. I forget whether it's part of Celebi or Mew, but there's a special research that says evolve a Magikarp into Gyarados.
Okay, I'm hanging on to that then.
Because that happened to a friend where she did it. She finally got the 400 candy she needed to get Gyarados, and then she evolved it, and then the next one popped up, and guess what? The next mission popped up, and it was like, hey, you have to evolve Gyarados. Didn't count from before, so she had to do it all over again.
that hurts.
Yep, it sucks. But thankfully, Meltan should be a lot easier just because of the way you catch Meltan. So, as a reminder, the way you get Meltan is by sending Pokemon from Go to Let's Go. When you do that, you'll get a special mystery box. You then have the opportunity to open the mystery box within Go, and I believe you have 30 minutes to catch the Meltan that spawn all around you. So you can catch as many as you want, use as much Pinapple berries as you want, all that stuff, and then it needs a little bit of a cooldown. You send another Pokemon over to Let's Go, you unlock the box once again, and you can start catching those Meltan. So thankfully, it does not matter where you're located, wherever you are, you will be able to get these Meltan to spawn around you thanks to the mystery box, which that is the saving grace.
Yeah, it's not so bad, and I guess it also kind of gets you in the groove of sending Pokemon to Let's Go as well. Because not only are you doing it to get Meltan, but you also have to use the mystery box to send a Pokemon to Let's Go to even use it. So I guess it's just trying to get you in the groove of sending Pokemon back and forth. So in that respect, I don't mind it really. It'll still take a little bit of time though, because yeah, getting 400 candy is still no small task, even if they are all around you. That's still going to take a little bit of grinding up.
I'm going to have to save a bunch of Pinapple berries.
Exactly.
Oh goodness, but yeah, I don't think it's too bad. There's definitely ways to do it. I don't know how quickly you'll be able to do it. You have to really hope your spawns are good and you have a lot of berries to help you along, and hopefully it's not too bad to catch. But at least there's a way, and with enough dedication, you will have it in there. And I gotta kind of appreciate that. Yeah, it's synergy, but it's a good kind of synergy that makes you do want to work towards this and make it happen.
And I also think it works quite well for Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go is of course a game where Pokemon pop up quite frequently. And I'm not sure you could really replicate this in Let's Go. Like, if you had to just go around farming Meltans in that game, I don't think it would feel quite as special in a way. Like, it's almost like there's an event going on within Go. And if it were just wild Meltans in Let's Go, I don't think that would really feel as good as doing it within Go.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as natural just because since you can level naturally in Let's Go, you lose the idea of gathering enough candies to evolve a Pokemon. It's a very different leveling experience between the two games. And we'll see how long Go sticks around to see if, Meltan's still catchable, or, like, I'm kind of curious, what do they do next? How do you evolve these Pokemon going forward? It's the same sort of idea I have with Inkay and Malamar, because to evolve Inkay into Malamar, you had to have the 3DS upside down while it got to a certain level and it was leveling up. And that would trigger the involution. A cool gimmick, but how do you carry that forward beyond 3DS? So
yeah, that is a good point. Is this the evergreen way of catching Meltan and Melmetal, or are they gonna somehow do like events later on in later games to get him in another way? Because I have a feeling Pokemon Go is going to be around for a while. We are only at Gen 4 at the moment, and they still have another 3, well technically 4 gens, because Pokemon Gen 8 is on the way. And we'll likely have that in Pokemon Go in a couple of years' time. So I have a feeling that this method of getting Melmetal and Meltan is probably here to stay, at least for like the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And we've seen with other mythical Pokemon, they do those giveaways, so I'm sure they'll do something similar to that, where it's like, get this special Meltan or get this special Melmetal or something to that degree. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Overall, I think this works out, and honestly, I kind of like it. Like it's all good. Like everything surrounding this Meltan and Melmetal and the process around it. Like I kind of like this connectivity. Maybe it clicks more with me since I actually do play Go again, but I don't know how it feels to people who don't play Go. But if you want all your Pokemon, this does encourage them, and boy, that is devious when you think about it.
Very true. Yeah, I guess if you're from the perspective of someone who doesn't play Pokemon Go and you just want to play Let's Go, then you're kind of screwed. You kind of just have to play Pokemon Go to get Meltan.
So that's why he's a nut Pokemon.
So yeah, I guess that is a bit devious in that sense. But it could always get people getting to play either game though, because obviously people who play Pokemon Go might be interested in Let's Go, and people interested in Let's Go will then be interested in Go. So yeah, it might be a bit devious, but I think it will still get people interested and maybe even hooked on Pokemon Go.
I mean, it's not the first time Pokemon's had you get some special product in order to get a Pokemon in the game. I think they had something like that for Coliseum or
XD Gale Darkness?
Yeah, XD Gale Darkness had one or something like that. I think they had an early Gen 4 Pokemon in there that you could get over or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I wasn't heavily involved with Pokemon at that time. But yeah, I overall, I like this whole process. I think it works.
Yeah, and the more I see Melmetal, the more I like him. I mean, there's this one screenshot where he's inside, and your trainer's like looking up at him, and you just kind of want to give him a big hug. He's a big boy, give him a big hug.
He does kind of look huggable. I don't know if that metal's good for you or not, but he does look huggable, like nice and squishy. Well, I think that covers it for our Melmetal discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Pokemon and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye!